How you doing? Hey, I wanted to do a video, a follow-up video to one I did here a while back on homelessness. Now that one was basically about homeless people, why they're there, how they got there. Everybody has a story, and I don't think they chose to be there early in their life. I don't think that was a lifelong goal, is to be homeless and strung out on drugs. And at the end of that video, I said, I don't know how you fix it specifically, but I have some ideas. And I guess this is a few of those ideas. And, it might seem a little bit unrealistic, but I can't think of a more effective way of doing it, or a realistic way of cleaning this thing up. I think that there needs to be a system implemented, and it needs to be huge, okay? And I think these people, it needs to be almost illegal to be homeless. And not in the sense that, you're making it illegal and you're incarcerating them and punishing them through jail time. That obviously doesn't work. That's what we've been doing. You let them out of jail, their lives are still fucked up, and that's definitely not a solution. And by illegal, I mean, you take them and you enroll them basically in a treatment program, and the treatment programs can vary. I think there has to be a case-by-case process done by experts on each individual, and the depth of their problems, and how you parse that out. I would leave that up to the mental health experts and drug rehab people on how you send, who you send, where. There's obviously different levels of severity on how bad people are damaged. Some people are probably damaged beyond repair, to where they'll never be able to function normally in society again. And in those extreme cases, I think that's more of a disability process. And I'm not sure exactly what you do to those people, but you find a way to give them a dignified life, and that could be discussed down the line. But I think everything needs to be case by case. And, by illegal, I mean, I don't want to start, violating people's rights. There's a lot to talk about in there. So I'm trying to give people, a hand up, that basically reboot their entire lives and give them a shot to get functioning again. But the question is, what happens when they come out, and even a bigger question is, who pays for it? Well, who pays for all this stuff? Well, I look back at, how did we get here? What caused this? And I can make a case that it's the billionaires that have the money. They have hoarded so much money, it's left people in dire straits to where, they fall through the cracks and end up homeless. And by the way, even homeless people, I think 20 to 40% of homeless people work. And now I know that's not the ones we probably see, in tents, living in tents and living under bridges and in broken down motorhomes you see alongside the road. I'm not talking about those. These are more likely people that are kind of in the shadows, that still have some dignity, and they don't want to be seen. But that's the numbers. And the whole system would have to obviously be ginormous, because it needs to be everywhere. And, I don't think there's very few communities that aren't experiencing this now. And, I think the billionaires, somehow through legislation, we need to find a way to tax that money and get it back. A, to pay for this kind of thing, and B, to keep it from happening in the future, to give people a more realistic shot at being able to make an affordable living and being able to live, because it's not getting any better, and it's only going to get worse as AI advances. It's going to mean more struggles for employment, and I just think that something huge would have to happen to clean that system up. And by the way, I think $35,000 to $50,000 per homeless person per year is being spent for ER care right now alone. That money and being incarcerated, that's expensive. That's $30,000 or something a year for a lot. Anyway, the point is that money can all be reallocated to go into a system like this. So that would help fund some of it if we would just have a fundamental different look on how to start it. And also, if something like this could get funded, that was a massive lift. I get it. This could be all fantasy, but if you have a better idea, I'm open to hearing it. It would also mean some more jobs, some gainful employment. A lot of there's for mental health experts. It's the staffing. These facilities would have to be built and managed and staffed, and that could create some real employment. So there's always that upside. But anyway, I don't think you can fix this by just giving them free shit. That's clearly not going to work. So at least this is thinking, it is a big scale, and I get it. It's maybe unrealistic to some people, but if you have a better idea, man, I'd like to hear it. So those were just my thoughts. Thanks. Have a good one.